Have you ever planned out the perfect day? You know exactly what you're going to do, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, and you expect everything to go smoothly, right on schedule. But then you wake up with a sore throat, or a thunderstorm rolls in. Your perfect plan gets completely scrambled. We all want life to be a straight road, but reality is full of sudden detours, dead ends, and unexpected twists. Thousands of years ago, there were three people: a woman named Ruth, another named Hannah, and a young kid named Samuel. They each found themselves on a life path that looked absolutely nothing like they had planned. By looking at how these three people navigated their own messy paths, we can start to see how to find our way through ours. Let's start with Ruth. Her life took a huge, heartbreaking detour when her husband passed away. Suddenly, she had to move to a brand new country where she didn't know anyone, and she had no money to support herself. Starting completely over from scratch in an unfamiliar place is terrifying. It's the kind of heavy, scary situation that makes you want to just give up. But Ruth did something unexpected. Instead of focusing only on her own pain, she stayed by her mother-in-law's side, choosing to care for her family even though they both had absolutely nothing. Ruth took things one day at a time. She went to work gathering leftover grain in the fields, doing her very best and trusting that God would help provide for them. And God did help her. He guided her to a kind man named Boaz, who eventually became her new husband, giving her a safe home and a brand new family. Ruth shows us that when a detour brings real sadness into our lives, choosing to focus on the needs of others and trusting God can lead to new beginnings. Next is Hannah. Her detour felt a bit like being stuck at a long, frustrating red light. She wanted to have a baby more than anything else in the world, but months and years went by and she couldn't have one. That long period of waiting created a deep ache inside her. It was a heavy, overwhelming feeling of sadness, watching time pass while she was stuck in the waiting room. When Hannah couldn't take it anymore, she didn't try to hide her sadness. She went to the temple and poured her broken heart directly out to God in a deeply sincere prayer. After she finished talking to God, something changed. Even though she didn't have a baby yet, she wasn't sad anymore. She was able to eat again, and her face brightened. She found a quiet stillness that helped her keep going until she eventually had a son, Samuel. Hannah's story teaches us that when life leaves us stuck waiting at a red light, talking honestly to God brings him right into the passenger seat to comfort us. That little boy Samuel grew up and had his own unexpected detour. One night, while he was trying to sleep, he kept waking up because he heard someone calling his name in the dark. He was totally confused. Every time he heard the voice, he jumped out of bed and ran to his older teacher Eli, assuming Eli was the one calling for him. After this happened a few times, Eli realized what was going on. He gently explained to Samuel that this quiet, persistent voice wasn't him at all. It was God trying to speak to the young boy. Following Eli's advice, Samuel went back to bed. The next time he heard his name, he sat up and simply said, "Speak, Lord, I'm listening." Samuel took that lesson to heart. He spent the rest of his life practicing how to listen, and as he grew up, he was able to use that quiet guidance to help an entire nation find their way through their own struggles. Samuel's experience shows us that God's voice usually isn't loud or obvious. Learning to hear his gentle guidance on our detours takes time, practice, and a genuine willingness to listen. Ruth, Hannah, and Samuel all faced completely different challenges. One dealt with loss, one dealt with waiting, and one dealt with confusion. But they all shared one vital trait. None of them had a complete map showing where their lives were going, so they chose to trust their guide. When you run into detours, whether you're feeling sad, stuck waiting, or just confused, it is easy to feel like you've taken a wrong turn. But you are not actually lost. When life gets messy, you can talk honestly to God like Hannah, care for others like Ruth, and practice listening for those quiet promptings, the way God speaks to our hearts and minds, just like Samuel did. Even when you can't see past the next bend, Heavenly Father is always walking beside you, steering you through the chaos. With His help, you'll find that a messy, squiggly path is exactly where you need to learn and grow.